This is why so many people are chronically single.
Why do some people seem to hop from relationship to relationship, while others struggle to find just one healthy partnership? In today's video, we'll uncover the hidden reasons why so many individuals these days seem chronically single and unable to attain lasting love. Being single for long stretches of time is often not a conscious choice. Yet toxic relationship patterns can trap people in isolation and prevent them from forging meaningful bonds. By exploring the psychological obstacles that hamper intimacy, we can start to break free from old ways and consciously build the emotionally fulfilling connections we crave. Today, we'll look at the most common barriers to lasting partnership, so you can reflect on what may be holding you back. With self-awareness comes the power to make different choices that can lead to the love you deserve. Let's get started.
Fear of vulnerability makes people remain single.
Opening your heart makes you feel exposed. Past betrayals or attachment wounds can program your brain to see vulnerability as dangerous. So you reflexively shut down and keep romantic prospects at arm's length to stay safe. But true intimacy requires letting your guard down emotionally. If you recoil from vulnerability, you'll struggle to foster relationships deeper than superficial. For example, a young woman was cheated on by her college boyfriend. Ever since, she found it impossible to trust men not to break her heart. At the first sign of emotional intimacy, she would nitpick flaws in her dates and invent reasons to break things off. Though she craved an authentic partnership, the thought of getting hurt again was so terrifying that she sabotaged any potential for real connection. Fear makes you build walls, but courage enables you to soften those defenses and let the right person in. Start by identifying core wounds, causing you to resist vulnerability. Perhaps you internalized the harmful message growing up that emotions are weakness. Then begin opening up incrementally. Sharing fears or dreams allows intimacy to blossom safely over time. Embrace the beauty of allowing yourself to be known.
Unhealed attachment wounds, as reason for many people are chronically single.
Early childhood experiences wire our brains for how we relate intimately. If caretakers were neglectful, you may develop an avoidant attachment style, fearing dependence. Or if parents were inconsistent, you may be anxious attached, requiring constant reassurance from partners. Left unaddressed, these attachment wounds make healthy relating nearly impossible. A husband with an avoidant attachment style unconsciously creates distance from his wife to ease engulfment anxiety. Though he loves her, childhood neglect taught him that needing others leads to disappointment. So he withdraws emotionally to maintain a sense of self-reliance even as his marriage suffers. Meanwhile, a wife with anxious attachment becomes extremely distraught if her partner travels for work. Abandonment fears from childhood emotional deprivation leave her requiring endless validation. Her frenzied outbursts slowly push her husband away, though he tries to lovingly reassure her. Healing attachment injuries requires rewiring your ingrained relationship programming through mindfulness and reparenting your inner child. Then you can build relationships that make you feel secure.
Unexpressed emotional needs as a cause for many people to remain chronically single.
You crave intimacy yet remain chronically unsatisfied in relationships. Often, this stems from failing to identify and articulate your core emotional needs. You may attract partners who can't actually meet your fundamental requirements for happiness. For instance, a woman kept dating exciting risk takers who stimulated her. But these relationships never brought her the stable companionship and dependability she truly needed at a soul level. She feared voicing these needs would make her unlovable. So she suppressed them, growing increasingly lonely and resentful over time. Start getting clear on your authentic emotional needs beyond surface desires for romance, security, or status. Do you ache for an adventurous free spirit or someone to weather life's storms together? Do you want passion and excitement or commitment and understanding? By clarifying these needs, you attract partners capable of fulfilling you. Don't betray yourself or settle out of fear.
Unresolved childhood trauma is one of the causes for many people to remain single.
When we don't process childhood emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, the subconscious impact can be devastating. Survivors often struggle with low self-worth, carry deep shame, or lack boundaries. This destroys intimacy by distorting perceptions of trust, safety, and self-expression. For example, a sexually abused woman continuously chose emotionally unavailable men who took advantage of her kindness, subconsciously trying to rewrite her traumatic past. Meanwhile, a man abused as a boy struggled with outbursts of rage at his wife's minor criticisms, triggered by feelings of powerlessness reminiscent of childhood. Seeking trauma counseling can help you release traumatic imprints wreaking havoc in relationships. As you shed trauma's oppressive weight, you'll feel safer, know your worth, and relate from an adult rather than wounded place. Don't let childhood demons keep you from the love you deserve today.
Carrying relationship baggage makes people to stay single.
Like baggage, unresolved issues from your past romantic failures inevitably weigh down new relationships. These lingering ghosts cause you to misperceive current partners through the lens of pain someone else caused. An inability to let go of the past torpedoes intimacy in the present. For example, a boyfriend's occasional work trip triggered his girlfriend's intense insecurities because her ex cheated on his business trips. Her unresolved trust issues projected onto her new partner slowly eroded their bond. Or a divorced woman rejected affection from a kind new man still armored from enduring criticism in her previous marriage. Make peace with the past through journaling, therapy, or support groups before pursuing new relationships. Leave exes where they belong in the past. Don't punish present partners for ghosts that haunt you. By learning to forgive, you open yourself to receive love again.
Fear of rejection as a reason for many people to remain single.
Everyone dreads rejection, but for some, this fear becomes crippling, so they reject others first. You avoid expressing interest or making yourself emotionally vulnerable to protect your ego. But this self-sabotage ultimately leaves you isolated and unfulfilled. A man obsessed over appearing undesirable or unworthy when interacting with women. So he compulsively listed his accomplishments and rarely expressed soft emotions. His bragging and aloofness pushed prospective partners away, reaffirming his belief that he wasn't enough even as his behavior fueled the rejection. Combat fear of rejection by taking social risks to build confidence, like talking to strangers or sharing your authentic self despite potential disapproval. Develop the courage to be vulnerable without requiring validation from others. Know you are worthy of love simply because you exist, not for what you do or achieve.
Self-sabotage and unconscious fears makes people to stay in comfort of remain single.
Though you desperately want an intimate relationship, you may also harbor powerful fears of engulfment or lost autonomy. Self-sabotage allows you to unconsciously orchestrate the rejection or failure you anticipate by reinforcing painful beliefs that you are unlovable or don't deserve partnership. For instance, a woman finds flaws in every man she dates, canceling promising romantic prospects over trivial issues like punctuality or clothing. Every reason not to commit seems valid because deep down she believes she is undeserving of real love. Or a lifelong bachelor finally meets an amazing woman, yet starts picking fights and questioning the relationship after just a few wonderful months together. Though terrified of his own destructive behavior, he pushes her away, validating his belief that he's better off alone. Shine a light on these hidden self-sabotaging tendencies. Then process where they originate and consciously choose new relationship beliefs. You can dismantle subconscious blocks to intimacy when you courageously confront them. There are so many diverse reasons why people remain chronically single, even when they consciously want loving partnership. But the obstacles holding you back can be overcome through self-awareness, support, and a commitment to change. Healing past hurts, expressing needs clearly, building confidence, dismantling negative beliefs, these are all continuums where progress, however small, creates positive momentum. By courageously confronting your barriers to intimacy, you can forge the emotionally nourishing bonds your soul craves. You deserve fulfilled companionship rather than perpetual isolation. But first, compassionately accept yourself, even if you feel broken or undeserving of love. Then begin the beautiful journey of healing so you can finally let the right person in. Open your heart to hope. The gifts of intimacy await.